Welcome back. Gabriel found his heart's desire in the City of the Dead, as the poem at the start of the day said. We had an encounter with Malia here, and I do really feel that there's something more than just infatuation going on between the two of them, but what could it be? And I'm kind of concerned still about the connection between the Voodoo Loa Gedi, who's apparently the god of the dead or something, and Malia Gedi, even though it's spelled differently, it's a little too close for comfort. Alright, I think this has been a very busy day. And since just about everything we're waiting for at the moment will take until at least tomorrow, Veve...
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
The bracelet and other stuff, we have to go home. Like, just automatically happened. And Grace's leave, and Malia...
Excuse me. I'm going inside.
Oh, excuse me, I'm afraid St. George's is closed for the day.
I'm not a customer. I'm here to see the owner.
Why don't you just leave your name and number with me, and I'll tell him you stopped by.
Listen, if Gabriel is here, he'll want to see me. Is he here?
Really couldn't say for certain, but in the morning...
Gracie, say goodnight.
Ugh.
Cat fight!
You came. I didn't think you would.
Neither did I.
I didn't think I would, either.
Your eyes. Oh, I could show you around a little. Yeah, it's not much, but...
Please, don't. I couldn't focus on much of anything right now.
Yeah, I know. God, what is it about you?
Just shut up and kiss me.
Day 4. No nightmares for once. I spoke to one who smelled of death. He gave to me his ears, and crosses that were marked were made into a veil of tears. Interesting. Malia's leaving. Just in time for the paper and Grace to arrive, as usual. I bet she'll have something to say about this. What the hell?
You're not speaking to me this morning?
Don't be silly. I just have nothing to say.
Did you find out anything about that pattern I gave you?
Yeah, I did find something.
Why is there a creepy dude standing outside
I checked the
our
microfiche
window?
at the public library. I found an article about a murder in 1810. The newspaper published a part of the pattern found around the body. It looks damn close.
You're incredible. All that work.
Forget it.
Have it your way.
Alright. Let's check out what this guy is doing.
Have you noticed this guy outside the shop?
Yeah. He gives me the creeps. I wish he'd go away.
Indeed. From the sounds of it, Wolfgang's package has not yet arrived. Can we tell this guy to leave or something?
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond.
Very helpful. I'd call the police if I were Gabriel, but I don't think you can. Let's read the newspaper. as always.
Times-Picayune, dated June 21st, 1993. Gabriel's eye is immediately drawn to an article about the voodoo murders. He scans it quickly.
I don't believe this. They've closed the case.
What case?
The voodoo murders case. The paper says that the police have learned that the murders were the result of an underworld cartel war, and that the war is over.
That's not good.
It's ridiculous. What about the killers? And the voodoo angle, they never got anything on that.
I know you were into it, Gabriel. But if it's over, that's hardly a negative. Anyway, if you're that upset, why don't you talk it over with your pal Mosley?
You don't get it, Grace. Just forget it, okay?
Gabriel decides to check his horoscope, despite his disgust. Death walks close to you today. Resist temptation, lest his eye fall on you too.
Peachy.
Yeah, those just keep getting more cheerful. And they closed the case. I think I will go and talk to Mosley about that.
I've got some things I need to do.
Have fun.
You have fun with that guy looking at you all the time through the window. That's gotta be uncomfortable. I mean, the sensible thing to do now would be to talk to the desk sergeant and report that there is a guy standing outside of our shop harassing us, scaring the customers, if we had any, which we don't. But there's no such thing as being sensible in an adventure game most of the time.
Hey, mostly.
Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
You closed the
Knight.
goddamn case.
I hate to tell you this, but you're out of a book. The voodoo murders case has been closed.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, son of a bitch.
Well, we're not gonna leave it at that.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
Look, the department's not interested.
So, couldn't you make them interested?
With what? I've got 7 bodies and still no leads. The voodoo angle's worthless. And besides, these people aren't hurting anybody but out-of-town drug dealers and hitmen.
The voodoo stuff is not worthless. It's the key to the whole thing. And these people are dangerous. They need to be stopped.
Okay. You want me to reopen this case? Prove what you just said.
What do you mean?
You need to...
Prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans. Prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
Alright, I think that is pretty clear. Well, one of the things we can do is show him the reconstructed pattern.
You know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So this is the whole pattern, huh? Well, that's pretty good work, Knight. But that doesn't prove that this pattern is really connected to voodoo.
No, I suppose it doesn't. I guess we need to wait until Hartridge gets back to us for more on that. How about the newspaper clipping that Grace gave us? We got it in our inventory here.
The newspaper clipping describes a ritualistic murder in Congo Square. It includes a rough sketch of a pattern found around the body. The sketch is very similar to the reconstructed Veve.
That indicates that whoever's behind this murder has been active for quite a long time, so I'm sure Mosley would be interested in that.
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810?
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? That they are a threat?
Sure. If there is a voodoo cult, they're a threat.
But we haven't proved there is one yet. And right now, I don't think we can prove there is one yet.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Have a good one.
So we'd better go and find some evidence. And one of the things we can do is pick up that bracelet, because Sam said he'd have it ready by today.
Sam, my man.
Hey there, it's you. I got that bracelet for you. This piece was a real toughie. For some reason, the metal just wasn't setting. I must be out of practice.
Well, it looks good to me. Thanks, Sam.
No problem. By the way, I'm heading out of town tonight.
Yeah, where to?
Marcus used to tell me that if I ever beat him at chess, he'd take me around the world.
The old bastard has enough money stuffed in his mattress to cover the federal deficit, and he hates spending a penny of it. I'm gonna enjoy watching him squirm through every mile.
Sounds like fun. Good luck.
Are you kidding? Luck is my middle name.
Really? Marcus has $15 trillion stuck in his mattress? That's a big mattress. Anyway, let's take a look at our bracelet replica. Looks authentic enough.
Sam's replica of Madame Kazunu's snake bracelet looks just like the original.
Actually, I'm kind of interested to see if Dr. John has anything to say about our new topics as well as the Veve. I don't think we tried that yet.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Well, let's take a look.
Does this pattern look familiar to you?
Where did you get that?
You do recognize it then?
I have never seen it before in my life.
Very convincing. He knows something, but he's not going to tell us.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo hound four?
Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Knight. The voodoo churches in the city have no need for secrecy.
This one might.
Are you sure you can't?
Oh,
okay.
We already asked that.
Do you know anything about Veves?
I believe they have something to do with Haitian voodoo, but that is not really my area.
Again, not very convincing.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
That sort of viewpoint makes my work very difficult, Mr. Knight.
I'm not implying that all voodoo is evil, but there are certain practitioners that use voodoo towards a darker end, aren't there?
No one that I am familiar with. If there are one or two ignorant believers, that is none of my concern. And I do not care to promote a Hollywood interpretation of voodoo by discussing it.
I had a feeling he wouldn't respond too well to that. Oh well. It is interesting how he reacted to that PV though. Okay, we'll continue in the next video.